Hello, everyone. Welcome in. We are so excited to have you back here with us to the show that is still untitled with Kendall, Valenzuela, myself, and of course, Amanda, aka Cooterdoodle to you all. But we're excited because we have the one and only Gene Clemons getting to join us today. Gene, welcome back. How's it going?
It's going fantastic. I'm just happy to be back amongst the beauty, right? You know, and then you get a little beast in here. That's all. A little beauty, little beast. We're good to go.
First returning guest, by the way, so it's a pretty big deal, Gene.
Yeah, well, you know, I feel like I was the first official fan of the show, and so as such, it makes sense that I have a recurring role in this sitcom.
Full and we have no hot sauce. No hot sauce today, Gene, so I think we're going to be doing a little bit better than it feels like it was just yesterday because it was that awful.
Yes, I just had a nightmare about it the other day, and I had shown both of you in the past. I'd also seen some hot ones or whatever hot sauce Pringles, and immediately got PTSD in the middle of a Walmart. It was absolutely insane.
So you're saying you haven't used the hot sauce. Amanda, have you used the hot sauce since we've used it or no?
I have not, and I never will. Okay. Mark my words, never again.
Liked the first one. The first one wasn't bad. No,
I was pretending. I hated it all. It hurt. It was painful.
Yeah, I have thought that the second one is good to add with like a mustard if you want to get like a spicy mustard. I think it'll be good to use it like as a blend, but no, definitely not putting it directly on anything.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good to know. Again, Gene, excited to have you here with us today. We have a little bit of a fun, not a little bit, we do have a fun show planned, a little bit different from the shows in the past. But before we get to that, we do have to start with Did You Hear, presented by Bud Light. All right, guys, time for Did You Hear, presented by Bud Light. And this is a big one. So I want to get both of your thoughts, and we might stay on this topic for a little bit longer than we usually do. But Gene, I'll start with you. You are the guest. Did you hear we've got George Pickens going to the Dallas Cowboys in a trade where, I don't know, Gene, I was sitting here thinking, wow, we're really going to be talking about Jake Ferguson and CeeDee Lamb as the top two targets on this offense. But now you've got George Pickens going over to Dallas. They gave up a 2026 third-round pick and then a 2027 fifth-round pick to the Steelers. They got back a sixth in the 2027 draft. So overall, Gene, what do you think about this trade? Let's start with George Pickens and that side.
Yeah, I think Pickens, and you know, I know everyone wants to talk about fantasy relevance. I really just want to talk about the fun. Like, we are getting deprived of DK Metcalf and George Pickens on the same team. I don't know. Well, Kendall, you clearly know, but I don't know if the world would understand how much sass and diva it would be in one locker room with both of those guys on the field at the same time. I do love this for the Cowboys. I think they needed a number two. And if we're being honest, Pickens is a number two with number one upside. And so if you put a guy like that in a position where he no longer has to get the number one coverage, because we know that's going to go to CeeDee Lamb, I think it's an absolute slam dunk for the Cowboys. And I think it was somebody that said that, they must be hiding, the owner in a closet somewhere. I don't know who said it, but it's interesting because they seem to be making some really savvy, smart moves outside of not going out and getting an elite running back.
Amanda, what did you think about this one?
I think you nailed it, Gene. I mean, a wide receiver number two with wide receiver one upside. I do love it for Dallas. Everybody was wondering, what's Jerry Jones going to do here? You can't have just CeeDee Lamb. We have to get some help out there. My biggest concern is, okay, now we have this upgrade in Dallas. What is happening with the Steelers? Almost said a no word. What is happening with the Steelers, Kendall and Gene? Like, I'm nervous, and I feel like they're the ones now that have to get savvy because there are holes in this roster that have to be addressed. And if I'm a Steelers fan, am I wanting Aaron Rodgers to come save the day? My answer is no. My answer is no.
Well, who else would you want? Like, I think they are hoping that it's Aaron Rodgers because at this point, would you rather Aaron Rodgers or who's their Mason Rudolph? Like, I think at the end of the day, they really are hoping that Aaron Rodgers goes there. And for us in fantasy, like the fantasy angle is like, yes, Aaron Rodgers is old and it's not very fun to have to watch him or just really cover him at all. But he isn't, I don't know, Gene, when we were watching him with Devontae Adams, and I know that's because they're BFFs, but I mean, he was peppering him with targets. And so I know that they're probably not going to have the same rapport between point if it's Aaron Rodgers going over there with DK Metcalf. But there is a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel for DK, because now you don't have George Pickens opposite you. It's really you as the alpha wide receiver one. So we could at least tell ourselves a story that now he's going to get peppered with targets. And that's something that we always want to chase, Gene, in fantasy, is like the volume, even if it is with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, and I want to give my Aaron Rodgers like mystique on this, right? Because I think what happens is everywhere that Aaron Rodgers goes now, one place, but everywhere he goes, so does all of his receivers, right? Yeah. And so there's a good chance that if Aaron Rodgers signs with Pittsburgh, here comes another couple guys who have some type of previous rapport with Aaron Rodgers in the past. That could get interesting for a DK that's coming in there wanting to be like the man, but he should get peppered with targets. I just wonder how long he's going to get peppered with targets when he drops like 2 or 3 of them and Aaron Rodgers gives him that look.
And then they go to what, Calvin Austin the third, Amanda? Then he says, no, it's Calvin Austin's time. Or, Amanda, I mean, just how fun will it be in a couple weeks when it's, did you hear Alan Lazard is now with the Pittsburgh Steelers? I mean, won't that be thrilling?
I mean, I hope that like the sewing machines are ready, because they're going to be changing the names on the back of these jerseys like crazy. We don't have Russell Wilson anymore. We don't have Justin Fields. We don't have Najee Harris. We don't have George Pickens. Like, they're going to have to start printing new jerseys really quickly, and the names are going to be changing. It just stresses me out. I don't know. As an NFL fan, it stresses me out to be in this position at this point in the offseason and not know who's going to throw the ball, or are they going to get another wide receiver there to kind of help out DK Metcalf, and what's going to happen? However, to end on a high note, I do love it for Dallas. Like you said, The only question here, and I'm curious, Gene, what you think on this, is the narrative swirling around Mike Tomlin. Is he getting out on George Pickens before the downfall? Or do you think that, there's a lot of narrative there where he's let go of these wide receivers right before they fell off? But then others are saying, look at Emmanuel Sanders. He still did great in Denver after he left. So what do you think about that? Is Tomlin a prodigy?
Yeah.
Does he...
I think he can only take so much. Like, he's pretty good at taking up with the BS, but he can only take so much before it's time to go on. AB, not for anything else. It's not like he was bad with the Raiders. He just was crazy. And then he went down to Tampa Bay and held it together for a season before he went crazy. So I could at least see Pickens holding it together for the 2025 season. And unless you're talking about Pickens in Dynasty, who cares about what happens in 2026?
Yeah, that's
Good
true.
point.
Gene, I will say, Gene, it looks like you're frozen for a second here, so we'll try and get you back. But Amanda, before we do that, I want to keep asking you, because I do want to say to your point about Mike Tomlin and everything else. Amanda, do you think that this is going to be the first season now that we see Mike Tomlin not have a 500 season? Like, is this, because that's the only other thing that I'm thinking of, is that Mike Tomlin is one of the best head coaches like ever in the NFL right now, active, whatever you want to say, and so. To me, I've doubted him before, like last season, where I said, this is definitely not going to work. And then they were knocking on the door. I mean, they were limping to the playoffs, Amanda, but they still made it. So to me, I have to think back and I say, well, Mike Tomlin is a damn good head coach. And I don't know if I could say like damn good in a good way. Like, I don't think that's swearing on this show. I'm sorry to our producers if it is, but he is so good that, to your point, like, I do want to trust that he absolutely knows what he's doing. So that's the question to you. Is it going to be the first season that he doesn't get to 500, or do you think that they're going to make it?
I will say this, as much as I just said like 30 seconds ago, I'm terrified and there's all these holes on the roster, the moves that they've made, if you kind of take a zoom out approach, it seems like they have a plan. Like, why would you let both of your quarterbacks go and your top running back go and now this wide receiver go? You have to have a plan in motion. He's not a new head coach, like you said. So clearly he doesn't want to end on a bad note. I feel like maybe he's just like some puppet master and he has some things that are just going to, in the next few weeks, come to fruition where we say, oh, okay, the Steelers knew exactly what they were doing and it was never problematic. It was just we were on the outs and we had no clue what was happening. So I do, as much as I am saying I'm afraid of it, it's in the here and the now. But from a bigger scope, they have to have a plan, Kendall. They have to. There's no reason that they would have a depth chart like this and be prepared to go into the season with, these little pieces.
You'd hope. I think the last part before, so we can wrap up this conversation and go to our next piece of news. But my other question is with Dak Prescott and what you think about him, because I know he's a hot topic, especially like when it comes to people just talking straight NFL, when it comes to people talking about fantasy, he's coming off his injury from last season. So we didn't really get to see him, but I don't know, Amanda, we have him right now, consensus QB 15 to 16. I think they're still, updating the rankings over there, but I don't think we would be shocked if he had a top 12 finish, if he's able to stay healthy and he has a true number 2 wide receiver now in George Pickens. We always say give a quarterback more weapons and they should be good to go. And we've seen Dak Prescott be able to kind of sustain a good duo wide receiver group. So to me, when I look at it, I actually do like Dak Prescott. I'm not saying that, I don't know if I'm bold enough to take him in one QB leagues and say, this is my guy and I'm just gonna plant my flag here. But especially in Superflex, like that's a good guy to go and target. And then in one QB leagues, depending on the league size and the rosters, right, he still could be someone that people go out and say, hey, I believe in Dak Prescott. I believe that he's going to outperform a QB 15 ADP, and they could go and get him.
Absolutely. Look, I'm on board with you. I'm not giving up on Prescott yet. This is the best chance he has to kind of have I don't know if you would call it a comeback, but a comeback, right? But I will say this, fans of the show know how I feel about Kyler Murray, and I'm not all in like you, Kendall, but I will say to kind of gauge the waters, I would take Murray over Prescott. Okay.
Yes.
So if that means anything to you.
Well, yeah, I hope so.
Dang.
If you said you'd take Dak, I'd really have to reevaluate like just everything, because Dak doesn't run. That's the other thing. Like we can try and get him as close as we can, but he's never going to be that guy that we talk about top 12 because he just doesn't have that rushing upside with him. So thank you. At least we have Amanda on record saying that she likes Kyler Murray. Maybe we could clip that out.
More
and
than.
Just more. Well, no, I was just going to say I like Kyler Murray. Exclamation point. That's where we're going to be. All right. The next piece of news here with Did You Hear, presented by Bud Light, that I just wanted to make sure we got to, because Amanda, I forgot that Matthew Stafford's contract, we never really got the details of it, because that was being worked on forever, by the way. They started that at the scouting combine, I believe, the NFL scouting combine. But now we've got the news that they finalized the terms, right? So $44 million this year per Ian Rappaport. I think the bigger question is if it just seems like it's a year-to-year thing now with Matthew Stafford, that's what we've come to with just his age and everything else. I really like this team for 2025. I'm happy that Matthew Stafford is back. I know that they gave him a couple weeks to maybe talk to other teams, and he was linked everywhere. He was linked to the Giants, he was linked to the Steelers. So I'm curious with you, just do you think that this could be the last season that we see Matthew Stafford with the Rams? And overall, I mean, it's a big contract, $44 million, I believe, fully guaranteed, like I said. So it's pretty big for him.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of just touched upon the idea of Devonta Adams, right, with Aaron Rodgers last season, and now he's with the Rams. I think that elevates Stafford. Last season, he wasn't exciting, but he wasn't terrible either, and he still has a chance to earn, I think it's another $40 million if he stays on the team through the start of the next free agency season. So it is an interesting approach. It's not these long-term contracts like we're seeing with other guys, but I don't think that they're giving up on him as much as maybe just kind of keeping a flame under him of let's make sure things move forward. I will say, though, I look at the rankings, Kendall, and Fantasy Life has him consensus QB 23 below Anthony Richardson. And I know we're still updating, things could change, but that surprised me a little bit given the Colts situation here. So I think that, I think Stafford's better than that. So I give him credit. I mean, you still have Puka there who's going to be phenomenal. So yeah, I mean, am I drafting him in one QB leagues? I probably won't wait that late to take a quarterback, but in two, Superflex, absolutely, I'm comfy taking him.
Yeah, I agree. I think, Anthony Richardson, I guess the idea there could be that Anthony Richardson just outperforms. But even then, that's a huge if, Amanda. We're sitting here saying we hope it happens, but we won't be shocked if that completion percentage doesn't come up and that he's not a better passer for 2025. So I agree with you there. And I agree with the sentiment that you said that they're just, it's just going to be, it feels like year to year with Stafford, where they're just like, hey, we've got you now. You performed well. We're going to keep trying to go, because their Super Bowl window really is open. This is a team that was scared scary at the end of last season, and they could have really continued to keep going if it wasn't for, a snow game that really derailed them. So yeah, I really like this. I like Matthew Stafford. Like you said, 1 QB leagues, I'm not going to try and target him, but Superflex, it's definitely someone to keep an eye on. So that was all the news. A lot of news, Amanda. You don't usually have this like in May, so I was excited to get some of this news out. But that was Did You Hear, presented by Bud Light. All right, fantasy football fans, sure, NFL season may be long over, but next season's action is already well underway. We're talking big trades, new signings, draft order shuffles, you name it, and all this preseason NFL action is easier to enjoy with the official beer of the NFL. So get Bud Light delivered today and enjoy every season projection, every player trade, every coaching change and draft pick with a clean, crisp taste of Bud Light, the official beer of the NFL. Stock up now for the offseason and enjoy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. All right, we are so excited because as you just saw, or maybe just heard, we have the Wheel of Dismay. Gene is back here with us and we are ready to go. So guys, here is what we're doing today. It's the Wheel of Dismay. We've got a wheel that will be going on in the background before we do our picks. So we've got, pick a player that's coach is older than whatever it is, 60, 65 or something. We've got players that play on grass, teams that have the color orange in their uniforms. So we've got everything under the sun, and you can see the categories on the screen now. So we're going to have some fun with this draft. So I think we've got, how many rounds? 8 rounds, but we're each going to pick one player. We can't pick the same player, even after it's been all said and done. So it's going to be fun. Gene, are you ready? I know you're going to create chaos as usual.
I'm ready. I went into this thinking that I was going to be like really, really trying to make the best team, but I might just throw some curveballs because I feel like everybody might be on some good times right now.
I think knowing Amanda, she's going to stir it up where she's going to just do random stuff. So we can't have actual good teams, right, Amanda?
I don't know, guys. I think I'm going to crush this. I really do.
All right. Well,
me after every home draft when I lose, I'm going to crush this. I know it.
Every single week after, we're just like, this is it. This is my year. Sorry, Dallas Cowboys fans. I'm kind of thinking about you when I say that. But all right, let's keep going here. So let's get the Wheel of Dismay on the screen and let's give it a spin. Gene, since you are our guest, you are going to have the first pick. So let's see what category we are all going to sit with in the first one. So we are going to go with, players from ACC schools. So that feels like a good one to start with, just an overall, players that have gone to an ACC school. So, Gene, who are you going to go with for your first pick?
Well, this is awesome because I wanted to make sure that I got a particular player. And so I made sure that I had him as my number one guy in a lot of different categories. And I'm going with Lamar Jackson.
Dang it.
As my ACC player.
This is already so annoying.
Anyone who knows, they know that I'm a Lamar Jackson fantasy stan. He's been winning fantasy leagues for me for years. So the fact that I can get him right there at the top in a rando draft, I'm definitely taking it.
This is annoying. I can't believe
a quarterback in round one? Like, what are you doing, bro? If you're going to go QB, why didn't you go Kenny Pickett? He's ACC. Come on.
Absolutely. I thought about it.
Oh my gosh. Sure. Amanda, would you like the second pick or do you want me to do the second pick?
Oh, I'm comfy only because I'm hoping I snipe you on this. I was going to go Kenny Pickett, but I don't want to go QB. So I'm going to go with newly signed wide receiver T. Higgins, the 1B to the 1A Jamar Chase. Look, I know he hasn't had 1,000+ yard season since 2022, but I don't care because he finally saw double-digit touchdowns last year. He's the highest paid wide receiver 2 in the league, and Joe Burrow just threw almost 5,000 yards. I feel like we're not talking about this. 4,918 yards last season with 43 touchdowns. So yeah, please lock in T. Higgins.
Oh, this has been super fun. I think I might just leave because getting sniped like back-to-back players. My list is only 3 players, you guys, so I have to figure out what to do. I think this is a little risky because we just don't know yet, but give me North Carolina, new running back. Give me Omarion Hampton. I like Omarion Hampton. Now, let me just say, again, risky, because to me, when I look at Omarion Hampton, I do not think that Najee Harris is going away like immediately. I just like Najee Harris. He's durable. He's never missed a game. He's got 4 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. Like, he is just that guy. So I just don't think Najee Harris is going to go away immediately. But, Gene, you did a lot of work on these rookies coming in. So I'm curious with your landing spot, with the Omarion Hampton's landing spot to the Chargers, like what your expectations of him are for year one. And that's going to be my pick.
Yeah, I loved Omarion Hampton in the process. I just don't love the landing spot. However, I do think that he went to a team. If there's going to be a team that's willing to use 2 power backs in the same system, it's this Chargers team. Now, I do get a little concerned with hearing that Harbaugh's trying to get his quarterback into the Hall of Fame. That gives me a little bit of concern. However, again, this could be a situation where early in the year, Najee Harris is the guy, and then those younger, fresher legs of Omarion Hampton kind of usurp him down the line into this year. It's a great spot as far as scheme goes. I'm with you, though. Najee Harris has been so solid. Like, come on. I don't know.
I know. Well, you guys sniped me, so that's how I had to do this, is that I couldn't get my 1 or my 2. So let's just go to the third. So let's go back to the wheel. Let's go to round 2, because now this is just going to keep getting exciting. If it lands on something else that we've already picked, I'll just go to the left or right. I'll just ask you guys. But let's spin the wheel here, and let's go with there we go. Yes, teams with orange in their colorway. So I don't know who's on, Amanda. Is that you or is it me? It might be me.
I think we're snaking. Is it you?
So is it me? Okay.
Kendall? Kendall, you got this. An orange color scheme. So I feel like it's kind of open there. There's a few teams that you could.
It's way open.
It's super open.
It's super open. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take the 101 in all drafts probably right now that's not Saquon Barkley, and I'm taking Jamar Chase. Because I'm not going to let you guys derail my whole draft. It's just going to happen, every other pick. But Jamar Chase, there's not really, we don't have to get into Jamar Chase that much, because we just know that he is good, and he's the 101 in a lot of drafts for a reason right now. So I'm taking Jamar Chase, and I'm very happy with it. Even though, Amanda, you got T. Higgins, I came back and I got Jamar Chase, so I feel good about it.
It's fine. Look. Now that it's me, I'm thinking I have all these players listed here that are wearing the beautiful orange, and I'm like, but I don't know that I still don't think I want to go quarterback yet, because I know it's almost like a real draft. I know what the topics are, and I'm comfortable waiting here. Okay. So sorry, Joe Burrow, but I'm going to stick with the Bengals here. I'm going to go with Chase Brown, running back 13, consensus 13 in fantasy life. Look, he's got fresh legs. It's his 3rd season here. He really took a huge jump in his sophomore season last year, 229 attempts, 990 yards, 7 touchdowns. I think he breaks 1,000 yards this season. So Chase Brown, come on in. Is this what you call stacking, guys? T. Higgins, yes. Chase Brown. Yeah, I'm stacking.
That means we know what we have to do, Gene, and we have to snipe Joe Burrow from her before she can get him. But Gene, it's your pick now. Teams with orange in their uniform, who are you going with?
Yeah, this is an interesting one, because there's a lot out there. Like, even like teams that you don't think about initially with orange in it, like the Buccaneers. They have a little bit of orange in there, right? Like, Miami plays with the orange. I gotta go with the guy who's just been reliable year in, year out, gets you everything. I almost went Mike Evans here, right? But I'm not going Mike Evans. I'm going to go for another Buccaneer. Bucky. Give me Bucky Irvin, running back, Tampa Bay. I need him on my team. This is his breakout year, and I want to be on board for it.
Ooh, I like that pick. And they do. First of all, Gene, their creamsicle jerseys or whatever colorway, best. And that's coming. I like the Seahawks, throwbacks, but those creamsicles are so good for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But I agree with you on Bucky. Like, I want every share that I can of Bucky Irving, and it just feels like this is just going to be an even bigger year, Gene. So that's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah, I think everybody's moving out of his way this year. Like, I don't think he's going to have to worry about the other two running backs. I think he's the guy this year going into the season. It's going to be his position to lose.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Now I'm kind of jealous of both of you guys. So we'll keep going here. Amanda's mad. I didn't even think about Orange and Tampa Bay. I just thought about the really obvious ones like the Broncos, the Bengals. I think the Bears, the Browns.
Bears, Browns, Dolphins.
I don't know if anyone's picking someone from the Browns, but I guess we're gonna see. All right, Gene, you get to go back up. We'll go back to the wheel. So far, you have Lamar Jackson and Bucky Irving on your team. So we'll take the wheel for a spin and see what we get coming up here. We've got really good topics in this one, so I'm excited. Let's see. Oh. Ooh. There we go. All right. So the wheel just spun. This is an easy one. Pick any player this was for Amanda, really, from the NFC South. Let's see. And maybe not Rashid Shaheed, or else Amanda might walk off the show. But it's going to be okay. So go ahead, Gene.
Wow. Yeah, it's pretty easy, I guess. I mean, I don't know who I should. Bijan Robinson. I'm sorry. Bijan Robinson. Bijan Robinson.
How did that happen?
Bijan.
Oh my God.
Bijan. Yeah, Bijan with the Bijan. I'm putting that Bijan on everything, baby. Like it's fantastic. Like, thank you, Amanda, for putting this topic in. I appreciate you. You can have Shaheed. I will take Bijan Robinson.
I mean, that's a good one. Is this a lock? Because I have Shaheed on multiple lists here. Should I take it now? I don't know. So. I mean, I guess I need to, because I don't know if the other one is going to come up that I have him on my list. But look, I had him on the under 60 targets. I guess I'll go Rashid Shaheed. It's not like I know the guy or anything. It's not like I have my jerseys ready to hang up after I lock it in. But I do want to say, Dwayne McFarland tweeted just the other day that in 6 games last year, Shaheed he ran 87% of routes. He had 25% target share, 50% air yards, 36% end zone targets, and 12.6 points per game. So yeah, I'll go Shaheed. It's not even a difficult one for me, guys. Let me hang this up while y'all figure out your next pick.
Okay? You see that, Gene? She's just flexing on us. She's like, oh, not just one jersey. Oh, no, 2. No. 3. We got that's what we have here. So I love that pick. We kind of knew that was coming. No, I love that. It's good. It's
top-notch fanning.
No, they're BFFs. It's just what we have to come to terms with. All right. So I was thinking about going Alvin Kamara here, but I don't want to do that just yet because Drake London is still there, and I still want some solid pair him up with Jamar Chase on my team. So I'm gonna go Drake London. I know there's question marks about the Atlanta Falcons and just Michael Penix Jr. overall. And while this is supposed to be fun, but I still do think that Drake London just has the talent, and just overall he's going to be peppered with targets by Michael Penix Jr. Might be a safety blanket over there for him. So I'm going to go with Drake London. But Amanda, overall with the Falcons and Michael Penix Jr., how are you, like, this division like the back of your hand? Like, how do you feel about him for 2025?
This is one of those years where I'm not going to be talking trash to Falcons fans. I hope they have a great season. I'm a little nervous. I mean, I think the Bucs take it all the way, but, I have no room to talk right now. So good luck, Falcons fans.
Okay, I like it.
I don't want any bad
you?
energy.
Listen, as a de facto Bucs fan, I used to be a big Bucs fan, but then, like my guy Lawrence Jackson said, I got off that narcotic. I stopped, ingesting it so much. They're the best team in the South until somebody proves otherwise, and so I haven't really seen anybody improve to the level of they're ready to take over unless Michael Penix comes in and is who I think he can be. And if that's the case, then it's game on in the NFC South.
Ooh, I like it. All right. That makes me feel better about this pick. And I do like Drake London overall, redraft when you're looking at best ball, all that good stuff. Before we get into round 4, guys, let's go over and hear from our friends at Bud Light.
Check out the new whip.
Tight.
Fully custom.
How many Bud Lights can you fit in that puppy?
As many Bud Lights as it takes.
It's a lot of Bud Lights. You'll have to give me one of those.
All right, continuing on with the Wheel of Dismay. We're going through our picks. We've got 8 rounds here, and we've already got great teams, if I might say so myself, already drafted here. But guys, let's go into round 4. I get the first pick in this one. Let's go back to the wheel. and see what we're going to work with here today. So let's give that wheel a spin and get going. I really want the grass one. Eventually I want the grass one, but we'll see if we get there, because that's a lot of picks that we could do. So it says NFC South, but we already just spin it again. Let's try, or we could go to the one to the left or the right. If we close out from this tab, let's go. Okay, we'll just spin it again. We're just going to spin it.
Hey.
We're just going to spin it. It's spinning. It's spinning.
Hey. Oh.
Okay, so for everyone listening, we just got players that have played with Zach Wilson. This is an amazing one, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited to see what you guys the Zach Wilson one, because there's a lot of things that could go on. I'm going to get safe here, and I'm going to go ahead. I'm gonna take Devon Achane. That's where I'm going to go. I'm going to go with the Miami Dolphins side of it, because you could go Dolphins, you could go Jets. I need another running back that I know is going to get, volume, that's going to get a heavy workload. Not that I don't think Omarion Hampton will, but I think that, he's not going to take over that backfield right away with Najee Harris there. So give me Devon Achane, and that means, Amanda, you get to go next. So I'm curious who you have for Zach Wilson.
I mean, look, you did snipe me, but if we're talking somebody who's played with Zach Wilson, look, producers, do you have on there his mom's best friend?
Stop.
Is that on there anywhere? Okay, sorry. I'll go Breece Hall. I don't love it, but you took my guy, Kendall. You sniped me. I mean, you look at the stats here, it's not exciting. I mean, he's almost eclipsed 1,000 yards 2 years in a row, but 5 touchdowns. And then now we know that Justin Fields is coming in here and he's going to run the ball a little bit. So I'm scared, but given the options, I'll very reluctantly say, okay, give me Breece Hall.
I was going to say, I like that one. And it's hopefully we don't get, a letter from Zach Wilson and the mom or something. So Amanda, if we're not back next week, it's because Amanda got a cease and desist or something. And that's that we have to take a little break. Gene, players that have played with Zach Wilson, who are you going to draft?
I'm going with Garrett Wilson, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's the easy one, because he's been consistent. He had 1,000 yards with a bad Wilson. Right. Then he had 1,000 yards with a bunch of other stuff. Right. So I think now that you're giving him a guy who will be highly motivated in Justin Fields to prove that, he can be the man. We've already seen Justin Fields turn a wide receiver who was a borderline top tier receiver into a bona fide top tier receiver. We saw it in Chicago. I think we'll see it again this year. Garrett Wilson to have a surprise season.
I like that one. I'm with you on the Justin Fields stuff too, because people might look at that team and say it's Justin Fields. And while we know he's going to run, I mean, that's what we like in fantasy football. We like the upside, but I agree with you, Gene. Like, the games that we did see with him with the Pittsburgh Steelers were solid, good games. And I think people kind of forget that, even though it was a small sample size, like, Justin Fields looked really good over there. So I'm hoping it translates going to a new team. You've got a new head coach. I like the Aaron Glenn pick over there. So I'm with you. I like Garrett Wilson a lot. Let's go back to the wheel, Gene, and see what else you can get, because you've got a pretty solid team on your hands already. So let's go back to the wheel, spin it. We're going into round 5 here of this draft. You need a tight end, maybe? Is that what we're not going to do orange again. So we're going to go to the one above it. Okay. Coaches over 60. Let's go 60. Coaches. Pick a player whose coach is over 60 years old. So there's actually quite a few on this list.
Listen,
so I'm curious where you go.
I'm coming up all roses on this thing right now. I was going to play around, but now I'm just I'm going to put a team together to just smoke these ladies, because clearly there's only one name you should be calling right now, and that is Brock Bowers. I'll take Brock Bowers, baby. Tight end extraordinaire. If it looks like I'm dancing, it's because I am. I'm just saying. It's because
I'm jealous.
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at him. He's so great. Oh gosh. This is such a, you know what? All fantasy drafts should be done this way, right?
This is the new way to do it. This is the new way. I'm jealous. I can't lie. Amanda, please, I'm begging. Don't snipe me here. Who are you going with?
First of all, I just need the listeners to know there's not that many coaches that are over 60 years old. We're very limited here. Like, we have Andy Reid, we have Pete Carroll. I mean, there's not that many. I was kind of hoping you go running back there. Are we trying to build a team with a legit roster? Because I already have Chase Brown and Breece Hall. Like, can I go Genty here? Like, is it weird to keep just stacking running backs?
You got to flex. You got to flex spot,
keep going. Right? Keep doing it. Yeah.
I feel like I have to do it. I mean, look, he is the guy to be talked about from the NFL draft. He's going into this new offense that, like we said, there's Pete Carroll there. We have Geno Smith. Brock Bowers, we know, is just elite. I think I told you this last week, Kendall. I think I'm all in on the Raiders. That's another team you can pivot if you just, are a Browns fan or maybe a sad Saints fan and you need to switch over to another team. The Raiders don't look too bad this year. So I'll take Ashton Genty. I'll do it. I'll take an RB3, Ashton Genty.
Silver and black is close. Silver and black is close to gold and black, right?
I like that. No, I think it's good.
Silver and gold.
I'm going to go. Okay, so you guys took Pete Carroll, who's 73 years old, by the way. So shout out to Pete, just still going out there. Like, I'm looking at, I don't want to go that way. Andy Reid is older, right? He's 66 years old, but there's no one on that team that I'm looking at that I'm like, I want to spend there. John Harbaugh is 62 years old. He counts. I don't necessarily want to spend. I think I have a tight end that I can wait for and go and get, but you can never go and get another king in Derrick Henry. So I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go with another running back here. I know I've got Achane. I know I've got Omari and Hampton, but let me go with Derrick Henry because, again, you can try and predict all you want when these running backs are going to fall off, when the age cliff is coming. You can't do it with Derrick Henry. He's going to tell us when it's time, and it's probably going to be when he retires. Like, we're going to be drafting Derrick Henry until the day he retires because that's just how good he is. So give me another year of Derrick Henry. I'm still on the Henry train, and I'm going to enjoy it until Gene. It's the same for you. You love Derrick Henry.
Absolutely. I think that's listen. If Brock Bowers wasn't not there, if we had gone to another category that would have fit him, I would have definitely taken Derrick Henry. He's still got everything that you want, and low key, his last season was probably the most non-stressful top 5 running back season that we could ever imagine him having. And it's not going to get any worse because he still has the alien that is Lamar Jackson. And as long as you have that cheat code, you're going to be able to amass a lot of fantasy points, especially because Lamar Jackson is not the selfish quarterback that will check to a passing play on the 10-yard line or the 5-yard line. He's going to just let his running back run it in. He doesn't care about the stats like that. So I think all of that is in favor of Derrick Henry, and you'll see him have another elite level year, I believe. At least 1 to 6 more. 1 to 6 more years.
I was going to say, I'm on the 6 side because doesn't he put like $250,000 into keeping his body pure every season? I mean, this isn't like the typical we're looking at age kind of guy. He is like a clean machine, eating healthy, getting the right level of oxygen, everything. So yeah. And Kendall, I know that you I think it was last season you kicked it yourself for not drafting him. Was it last season? And I feel like now maybe it was 2 seasons ago. I don't remember what it was. But I remember you were mad at yourself. And so I feel like now you can't not take him everywhere. You've got to
I was gonna say,
pay back the fantasy gods and say, I'm sorry. And
I agree. Because last year I took him a good amount, but it was one of those things where, Amanda, you could have taken him in every single draft and it still wouldn't have been enough with how Derrick Henry played. So I was like, why didn't I have him just take the risk, take the jump, take the leap, and have him on every one of my teams? But I didn't do that. So you're right. I did kick myself a little bit.
Somebody had him. I'm just saying.
I know. Someone had him on other teams. There. You can raise your hand. It's all good. All right, my pick now. We're going into, I believe it's the 6th round maybe here, but we're gonna find out. We're gonna go back to the wheel though and see what we have. There's still a lot that we can do here, but we're having fun.
Lots of spicy
There's a lot of spicy.
Rookies.
All right.
Okay. All right. Any rookie. All right. Any rookie. Look, guys, we know that this wasn't the year for maybe Shedeur Sanders is going to be one that surprises us. I can't go quarterback there. And honestly, the tight ends where they landed, it's not something where you're immediately saying, hey, I want Colston Loveland on my team. I want Tyler Warren, because it feels like we're not going to get that tight end 1 rookie finish that we've been so spoiled in having over the past 2 years. So I want another receiver on my team, and I want that to be Teteroa McMillan. That's where I'm going to go here because I already have Amarian Hampton, so now we've got 2 rookies. I know it's the Carolina Panthers, and people can say that that's gross. I'm hoping we get the Bryce Young from after he was benched instead of from before, but Teteroa McMillan, again, we want to chase the targets. We want to chase the volume. I think Dwayne had him projected already for 120 targets on the season, so sign me up for someone that's going to get all that volume. So I'm going Teteroa McMillan. Amanda, who are you going to go with here?
It's so funny. I guess being with you every week, Kendall, I knew you were going to go Tet. I knew it. We've already taken Amarian Hampton off the board. We've already taken Ashton Jeanty off the board. I think I'm going to have to lean into my rookie tight ends here. I know you just talked down a little bit, but I'm looking at Colston Loveland, and I'm thinking about how highly Dwayne McFarland has him ranked in his rookie model, supermodel. And I know that with the Bears now and Ben Johnson, I'm hopeful. I don't have a tight end yet, so I'm going to go with Colston Loveland. And I am excited about it. Let me type it in here on my notes.
I like
Colston
it.
Loveland.
I think it's a good. Gene, are you shaking your head? You don't like it?
No, I'm thinking about her over there. Like, I'm going to type it down in my notes. Colston Loveland.
Type it down. Because it just,
I
it feels
do.
right.
I actually... I like Loveland. I do, however, worry about the target split in Chicago. Like, where are all these targets going to be at for Colston Loveland? Even at tight end, you've got Cole Kmet there. They don't seem like they're coming off of him. So now it's going to be Kmet and Loveland as tight end options. I think I might have in the same position gone Warren, but I understand the concerns about quarterback there. So that makes perfect sense to me. This one's actually really hard because there are not a lot of offensive rookies that you can think of that you're like, oh my God, this person's really going to make a splash. But since I can't predict that we're going to get to another one where I can possibly get the guy that I really want, that we probably all want, I'm gonna go Quinshawn Judkins.
Oh,
I'll go Judkins with the Browns. You know why? Because what else are they going to do? Right? They got 175 quarterbacks over there. We don't know which one they really love. We do, however, know that with them not re-signing Nick Chubb, that there's an opportunity for somebody to move into the running back 1 spot there. That seems like it's Quinshawn Judkins, and Judkins fits the type of model that they want out of a running back. So I think it's a great opportunity for him to come in and have 1,000 plus right out the gate.
I like that. Where do you have him ranked between Quinshawn Judkins, let me throw you, Gene, Travion Henderson, and then RJ Harvey? Between those 3, is Quinshawn Judkins the one for you?
I had Judkins as 3rd in my rankings, right behind Hampton. I just think that he gives the best combination of size, power, and speed of all of those guys. And I think that he has less wear on his body than some of those other guys do as well, which we know with running backs, you only have so much tread before, it's time to move on. I thought about rolling the dice and going a little Cam Scatterbo there, but might have been a little jump in the gun.
I should have.
Might have been jumping the gun right there. That's okay.
Scatterbo, RB1, not only in our hearts, but for 2020. Well, I can't go that far, but RB1 in our hearts for sure. Before we keep going, Gene's got a solid team. Amanda, you and I need quarterbacks. I also need a tight end, so I really need to get going here. Before we do that, though, let's hear from our friends over at Bud Light again.
Check out the new whip.
Tight.
Fully custom.
How many Bud Lights can you fit in that puppy?
As many Bud Lights as it takes.
It's a lot of Bud Lights. You have to give me one of those.
All right, coming back, we've got round 7 of our Wheel of Dismay. I'm not at dismay. I'm having a great time with you guys. So, Gene, you get to be back up here. You could really, you're in a solid spot. You can see on our teams what Amanda and I need. I already said, Amanda for a quarterback. I need a quarterback and a tight end. So maybe leave some of those guys for the rest of us. But Gene, let's go to the wheel here. No, I figured no, to be totally honest. Let's go back to the wheel though. Let's give it a spin and let's see what we have coming up here. So we're going to go. We already did Zach Wilson. So let's go with the one above it. You guys want mascots? Let's do mascots. So teams teams with a mascot that is an animal. That is the theme here.
Is that the one? Okay.
Yes, that's the one with the animal, because every team, well, actually, fun fact, how many teams don't have a mascot? I'll give you the answer at the end of this.
Vegas doesn't, right? And Tampa Bay doesn't. So you can't use those. But if you're going to, I know I have 3 running backs. I know I do.
Oh no, I know what you're gonna do.
But come on. How do you let Saquon Barkley drop right here and not listen? I'm taking Saquon Barkley. Let's bring him on in. Who cares? You know what? Even if I have a week where one of my wide receivers like won't play because I don't have enough of them, guess what I'm still going to be able to do? I'm going to be able to roll out all of these running backs. Saquon Barkley.
Solid.
I appreciate you. Bijan could be running back one year. Saquon Barkley, I believe, may actually have a better year this year than he had last year. And here's why.
Wow.
I think that he's going to realize I left stuff on the table trying to be the good teammate that I should have never left on the table. Right. And doing that because these careers are so finite and he wants to go down as an all-time great. Well, now he has a Super Bowl that people could put squarely on his back. Now it's about chasing the records. It's about chasing the numbers. And so he could be in a situation where he has more touchdowns than he had last year, where he has more yards than he has last year. If he gets an opportunity to take a chance at the rushing record, I guarantee you he won't sit down and say, hey, no, I don't want to go for it. He's going to demand to go for that rushing record this year.
You know what I didn't even think about, Gene, until you said this, because it's hard to think like bigger and better after he had 2,000 yards in the regular season. Like, that's insane. But now that you're saying it, I mean, if Green Bay gets away with banning the tush push, then all these touchdowns that Jalen Hurts was getting, these 1-2 yard pushes in, that's Saquon territory. So
they'll bounce back to Saquon.
I like that.
You might be right.
Amanda, your pick. You might be, Gene.
Okay. All right. I need a quarterback. So this landed perfectly. It's probably not. No, I'm not going the route you probably think I am. I could go Josh Allen because I looked it up. There's some Billy Buffalo, whatever. I'm going with Jared Goff. And here's why. Look, I'm sorry. I love him. And I think we keep. It is a curveball, but I love Jared Goff, and I think we keep sleeping on him. In 2022, he was the QB 27 and performed as like the 6th or 5th. Then we valued him a little higher in 23 as QB 17, and then he performed 2nd in yards, 4th in touchdowns. And then last year, we said, okay, we'll bump him up a little bit. We viewed him as QB 15, and he got, again, 2nd in yards, 4th in touchdowns. So I'm sorry, lock it in. Jared Goff. I'm not sleeping on him anymore. I'm excited.
Wow, that was a super curveball. What's their mascot's name, Amanda?
Rory. I looked it up. Rory, very creative.
I looked it up too. I was like, shoot, I got to know this. Okay, you did not take the quarterback that I wanted, and I can't believe he's still here on the board because Lamar Jackson was sniped. But give me Jaden Daniels. Major Tutty from the Commanders is their mascot. He's a giant pig, I think. First of all, it's actually amazing. But Jaden Daniels, listen, I had an article come out yesterday just saying like, hey, who could have a CJ Stroud-like sophomore season? So I went through all, the second-year quarterbacks, and I had to mention Jaden Daniels, and I said, please don't yell at me. I literally just have to name him. There's no way in my mind that Jaden Daniels could have any kind of sophomore slump. He just looked like he was already an elite quarterback. You've kept Cliff Kingsbury as your offensive coordinator, which I think is huge. And even though people might not like Deebo Samuel, you still added weapons to this offense. So, and he has the rushing upside. Give me Jaden Daniels. I'm glad, Amanda, I thought you were going to snipe him from me. I thought you were going to take him.
Can I blow the whistle on this thing right here? Can I blow the whistle? I need a red flag right now because their mascot is the Commanders. Their mascot's not the pig.
No, it's a mascot that's an animal.
Oh, the mascot, but their mascot is the Commanders, though. I feel like you are hustling, and I feel like Cooterdoodle was trying to hustle on the Josh Allen thing as well, because the Bills are not. There's nothing that's animal about that. I think y'all are both
The
working
Commanders
in the
are
margins right
it's
now.
a pig. What do you mean?
I'm going to say this.
Because-
I'm looking, there is a pig, but also, Gene, if we're going to say that you can get a buck for Orange, she can take Jaden Daniels. Okay.
They're still orange in their uniforms.
It's like so
I like
little.
it.
It's so little, though.
Hustle.
I will say, hand
Hustle.
up, I thought we were just doing a mascot that's an animal. And so I saw the pig and I was like, oh, that's for
Thought so
sure
too.
me. That's for sure me. All right, we've got another one. We're going to go back to the wheel. It is my time. I really need this to work out in my favor because I need a tight end. That's
do.
not Zach Ertz. And if it goes to the age one, I'm going to freak out. Okay, we already did
Ooh.
ACC. Oh, it has to be the one above it, doesn't
It
it?
has to be the age. That's what we're doing.
My, give me
No,
Travis
did we do
Kelce.
grass?
Wait, did we do
Well,
age? We didn't do age.
We haven't done age, but we've done the ones, Gene, above the one that we
Oh,
we
okay.
were
So
stuck
we're
on.
keeping it okay.
Give me Travis Kelce. He's over the age of 33.
right.
It's between him, I believe, and Zach Ertz if I need a tight end because I could think of older tight ends, but I don't really want to go there. Listen, Travis Kelce, he's still in the top 10 tight ends, but it's barely, right? He's not going to be someone that I immediately go for and try and target in every single one of my drafts. But, the difference between the top 3 tight ends, they are going to score you a ton of fantasy points. Trey McBride, Brock Bowers, George Kittle is the consensus top 3. Once we get down to it, guys, the difference between, the other guys in the top 10, it was pretty close with how many fantasy points they scored. So give me Travis Kelce. I waited too long. That was my fault. And now I've learned for the next time. Amanda, you get to pick someone over the age of 33. Who are you going with?
Look, I'll say this, Kendall, to yours. He has to do better than last year. He was pretty much like season lows on every metric. So, you could do worse, I guess. I don't like this one because players who are over 33 limits it a lot. I don't want to take Matthew Stafford because I just took Jared Goff. I don't want to take Russell Wilson because Russell Wilson. I don't want to take Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers. So I'm going to go with Adam Thielen, who's 34 years old.
Oh,
Did
no,
I really?
Gene, that's
Okay,
crazy.
oh my
An Adam
gosh.
Thielen snipe is crazy.
But look, that's what makes fantasy fun because I was nervous. And as soon as you said I sniped you, now I'm so confident and life is good and everything's great. So yeah, now I'm so excited to have him on my team. And you know what? Nana, nana, boo, boo, Gene, who are you going to go with? Who are you going to go with now?
No, it's actually like this was the one that I was like, it's gonna get squirrely on this one. Because I was trying to think of like legitimate like people who are still like in the mix who are over 33. And every time that I thought I had one, they were 31 or 32 years old. Right.
Yeah.
And so I only had 3 names on my list. One was Travis Kelce, one was Adam Thielen, and the last one was Cordero Patterson.
No.
Bring one home. Cordero Patterson. I'll take it.
I love that. Ian Hartitz is going to love this because that's his guy. So I don't know. It could be worse, Gene. You could have drafted it could have been worse.
It could not have been worse.
DeAndre Hopkins, right? Is he over 30? He's over 33.
Yeah, he's got to be.
Is he?
Yeah. I think he
But
might be.
it is funny that you say that, Gene, because I did the same thing. I was like, oh, this player has to be over 33. And then I would look and I was like, actually, he's not. He's 31. I mean, it's just, you never know.
31 was the number where there was a ton of these guys. And
Wow.
but after that,
DeAndre Hopkins.
He's only 32.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
32.
See,
Yeah.
that's what happened.
Oh,
That's what it
wow.
was.
Maybe Tyler Lockett.
Yeah.
Is Tyler Lockett older than 33?
Listen,
That's
that
crazy.
was a you question.
32.
Me sitting
wow,
here-
This was that was a hard question,
It's
to be honest.
it's because of and it makes a lot of sense. It's because of the perception of the receiver position after you pass 28, 29. Like people just
Exactly.
they just drop. I mean, we saw what happened to Julio Jones, right? I thought Julio Jones would have a Terrell Owens type of career where he would age gracefully and still be effective. And it was like here and then nothing. So
yeah, it was like, just kidding.
it's
We're
tough
not
out
gonna
there.
do it.
Cordero Patterson, let's go, baby.
There we go. I love it. Well, Gene, appreciate you so much for hopping on. You walked away with Lamar Jackson, Bucky Irving, Bijan. Oh, went away. Well, I don't get. You walked away with good players. That's what I'll do. That's all I'll say. I got Travis Kelce at the end. You got Bijan. For Gene Clemons, for Amanda, aka Cooterdoodle, to all of you from Kendall, Valenzuela. We appreciate you so much for hanging out with us here today. Make sure you go to fantasylife.com. Check out that newsletter, free, 100% free in your your inbox 7 days a week. And all of those articles are 100% free as well. And we will see you next time.